Hello there. It's me, coming today to talk to you about my very secretive top 10 favorite albums of 2015. I'm hiding in a closet because I don't want John to know what my list is. So, let's get to it. So there were a couple of rules for this. Every album that is on the list had to be one that we had actually talked about throughout the year and done a review on. Second, these lists were very, very secretive. John didn't know what my top 10 were, and I didn't know what his were until today. So, which is technically not true, but I'm gonna say it is. So, coming in at number 10, we have Halestorm's album. This album was fantastic. I had never really listened to too much Halestorm, and this is something we'll say a lot on the channel. We talk about like new bands that we find, or new personal finds. I never really listened to Halestorm too much before this year, but after we did the review, I started to listen to them a little bit more, and Lizzie Hale definitely grew on me, and I really liked the album. I liked what she brought to it, and I thought it was really done very solidly musically. Yeah, and that's Halestorm Into the Wildlife. So check that out. Make sure that you definitely check that album out if you didn't watch the review, and check it out already. Coming in at number 9, we have All That Remains: The Order of Things. This is probably a pretty strange thing to be on my list if you watch the review that we did for it originally. Upon first listen, the album, I didn't really like it too much. Nothing really stood out. A lot of it seemed like background noise. But as the year has progressed, it's kind of grown on me a little bit more. I really do like some of the guitar work on it, and so I felt that it was definitely a strong contender to at least be on the list. So that's how it's procured the spot at number 9. It's coming in at number 8. We have Nuclear Assault's EP Pounder. I'm a huge Nuclear Assault fan. I love that old thrash metal shit. So they were definitely a heavyweight contender for a decent spot on the list. But like I said, there were just so many albums that came out this year that were good. I felt that it was about midway into the list. So coming in at number 7 is Dark Before Dawn by Breaking Benjamin. This was kind of a little bit more of a mainstream band than I'm used to. This album was just very, very well written, and I don't think, whether or not you're a fan of them, you have to kind of give it to them that this is a decent album. It's strong in a lot of ways, like a lot of their previous albums have been, and their notoriety and huge following supports that. But I liked a lot of the lyrics, and I liked what the new lineup for the band brought to the table this year. So hopefully we'll be seeing more good stuff from them. Coming in at number 6, we have Iron Maiden's new album, Book of Souls. Everybody loves a good Maiden album. There's 2 types of people in the world: people that do love Maiden and liars. Definitely check that album out. It's a big album for them, and they're kind of getting up there in age, so we don't know how many more albums we're going to get out of them. Hopefully a lot more. Coming in at number 5 is Joe Satriani, Shockwave Supernova. I'm a huge Joe Satriani fan. Well, actually a moderately sized Joe Satriani fan. But anyway, yeah, this album was awesome. This whole record, killer. I've been a fan of Joe Satriani since Surfing with the Alien, even though that was from before I was alive, but since I started listening to it, that was the first album I heard from him, and everything after that I listened to, I've loved. Definitely make sure that you check that one out, especially if you're into instrumentals, because you don't want to kind of miss anything that man puts out, because he's an absolute legend. Coming in at number 4, we have Mutant Man, the new Mutant Man EP that came out this year, which was awesome. It's proggy, very original, and I loved it. I loved everything. They're a 3-piece band, and I loved everything that they brought and were able to do on the record, and I look forward to more things that these guys put out. Very talented musicians, so definitely make sure that you check them out. Coming in at number 3, the new Between the Buried and Me album, Coma Ecliptic. This record is absolutely phenomenal from beginning to end. I have never really liked prog metal too much. Meshuggah is probably my favorite band. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're prog, but in terms of like other prog bands, I was never too adamant about listening to them. Something about it just didn't usually work for me. But then I found Between the Buried and Me, and all the cool things that they were able to do. And this record is just so solid from beginning to end. It's just like one giant movement, and it's just all very captivating. The lyrics are awesome. As soon as I can get to go see them, I'm definitely going to do that. You should too. Coming in at number 2, we have Fear Factory, Genexus. There's nothing really more to say. It's Fear Factory, and it's fucking awesome, and you should definitely listen to it. Super fast record, super heavy record. These guys have been around forever. They're a super old band, but they're still nailing it, and this was arguably one of the best records that they put out, which is very unusual for me to see from a band that's, you know, going on so late in their years. Kind of like what happened with Iron Maiden. Book of Souls is a really good record too, but a lot of times we see as time progresses, some bands fall off, but you know, these bands just show time and time again that they can hang on and still hang and play with the best of them. So, Fear Factory, Genexus, check that one out. And coming in at number one, we have Lamb of God, Sturm und Drang. Record of the year for me. This record was just awesome. The hype that went into this record, I was waiting for it for so long. I had been waiting for, you know, a better comeback for them since after Resolution. I didn't think that album really showcased what this band was capable of. The record was too long for me, and this record was a lot more condensed and concise, and you know, really just put this band back. You know, with songs like 512, Embers. You know, everything on this record was awesome. Even the bonus tracks were killer. If you have not listened to that record, I recommend that record. Out of all the records that came out this year, that was my personal favorite. And definitely make sure that you check it out, because if you're missing out. So those are my top 10. I don't know where John went.